Welcome back to this week's midweek mini episode of the Well House Exorcism. This is your ghost of a host the most, Shanna.
It's 4th of July, PJ.
No. But happy 4th of July. And joining us this week are two special guests, my besties forever. Who we got?
Yeah, girls.
Hey, it's Ashley. Hey, it's Maria.
I like how PJ once again is surrounded by more females. So if you're listening to
It's
the
the
Lizzie...
profession I'm in, really.
Special ed teacher? Yup. So thank you, ladies, for being here. It was a spur of the moment surprise. I'm like, hey, let me tell you a ghost story. So thank you for being here.
Anytime.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to hear the story.
Do you really?
I do.
Okay.
Really.
If you're listening to my regular series, Lizzie Borden will be happening this Sunday, so I'll have my two other friends here. So our paranormal expert, Carrie, and our psychological expert, Penny, will both be here. So you'll hear our awesome story, the conclusion of the Lizzie Borden story on Sunday night.
Lizzie will return.
Yes. Oh, ladies, would you like to hear Lizzie Borden's voice?
Yes.
Hi. It's Lizzie.
I wanted to introduce you, but
I'm here.
there you are. It's actually
Sounds
more...
like a dead Cookie Monster.
right? It's a little more gravelly, actually, when we get to Sunday nights.
Yeah,
But
I'm just puttering around.
here it is, the word puttering. All right. Anyway, before we begin, PukwuPJ, I have a joke for you.
Yeah?
What is white, black, and dead all over?
What?
A zombie trick-or-treating in a tuxedo.
Oh. I thought you were going to say a dead zebra.
No, wow, no. All right.
Get real dark here.
This week is episode 13 of our midweek mini episodes, and for it, we are heading on down to Virginia to a quaint little pretty pond. Nothing scary there, right? And as I mentioned, this is episode 13, and the number 13 will play prominently in my story tonight.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The plot thickens.
It does. My references for this evening, only 3 of them, onlyinyourstate.com, southernspiritguide.org, and thedirt.com. And dirt has a Y instead of an I.
They're trying to be trendy.
I thought so.
Hipsters.
Well, that's where I get the bulk of my story, so thank you, thedirt.com. Just saying. All right, so my story.
They know how to dig up the dirt on things.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna... This is what I put up with all the time. Don't laugh at his dad jokes. I just can't. Actually, the only reason I tell him a joke on midweek minis is because I only have 20 minutes, and I'm like, you know what? I'll lean into it a little bit, but I come right back. Yeah.
I have a joke for the end.
Yes.
Is it a dad joke?
I don't know. You laughed at it.
Okay. Then it's okay. All right. So my story. Braley Pond Campground is a popular camping destination known for its scenic views and stocked fishing pond, and it remains a popular destination for both campers and anglers in the state. One camper, Kara P., calls it beautiful, writing in her review, quote, "The pond has a great little trail you can walk around, and at night the stars are gorgeous. These tranquil surroundings are enough to attract many a person. But its darker background, with its local lore and details of a grisly murder, attracts us there for tonight's minis episode." Oh, yes. You ready for some murder?
Murder?
Of course.
Gang-related murder?
Murder?
Oh, yeah. It's going to get dark.
I want to watch Hot Fuzz
Oh,
now.
gee dang it. Here we go. All right, so let's just start off with the murder, shall we? So we're at Braley Pond in Virginia. On May
I'm just dying to know more.
Really? I hope not.
I hope this is a killer episode.
I need your... trying not to laugh. She's going to turn out. She's going to pass out from holding it in. You can laugh at his terrible jokes. At least one of us will. Oh.
That hurts.
I'm sure Jackie's laughing.
Yeah.
Anyway, on May 22nd, 2003, when the three of us were in our, sophomore year of high school? 2003?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
sounds about right.
Yep.
Ashley, were you graduating 2003?
2004.
Ooh, so you're in your junior year.
Yes.
Just 1 year older.
Spicy. Yes.
So on May 22nd, 2003, 19-year-old Christopher Kennedy was murdered at Braley Pond by local gang members.
Murdered.
2 of the members lured Kennedy to the site, stabbed him 13 times in the chest and back.
It's excessive.
A little bit. And then dumped his body into the water of Braley Pond. I told you 13 would be important for my story tonight.
Oh,
13
yeah.
times. Wee. I keep counting.
Just got to make sure that, he's not getting up.
Well, pretty much. Yeah. Kennedy's body was discovered by police partially submerged in the pond later. The Augusta County Sheriff at the time stated, quote, "There was a lot of violence at the crime scene."
Wow.
It's like, really? 13? Yeah.
He's I knew he was the sheriff for a reason.
Seems a little excessive. 3 would have done the trick.
That guy looked dead. He looked real dead.
Oh, no.
Sir, what happened to him? He killed.
He got stabbed a couple 2-3 times.
2-3.
On the night of the murder, the 4 gang members were at one of the members' apartments. They discussed at length punishing Christopher, who was also a member of their gang, because he might inform the police about them. 2 of the gang members then picked up Christopher in nearby Staunton. Kennedy had reportedly become a member of the Los Angeles-based street gang, the Crips.
Fun.
Yeah, I know, right? Just of all the gangs. After he was picked up by 2 of the members, the group drove to Braley Pond campground. The reason for the murder? A short time previously, Christopher had admitted to his grandfather that he had joined the gang, but then expressed his anxiety that he was, quote, too young to die. I have made a terrible mistake. I joined a gang.
What?
So we're going to tell people, and that's always great when you join gangs.
Oopsie.
Like, spread that
I think you're
out
supposed to
around.
keep it a secret.
Yeah.
What? And like of all the gangs, the Crips.
The Crips.
It's like Fight Club. You don't tell people you're in Fight Club.
I just want to be like, I want to hug him, be like, it's okay, but also, what were you thinking? At first, they were only going to beat him, but then they decided to kill him. The leader of the gang, Kenneth Jackson, gave that order. After murdering Christopher Kennedy, they returned with the victim's watch and bloody shirt to prove they had carried out their orders to Kenneth Jackson. All 4 gang members ended up indicted for murder.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
This is Mr. Oh. Oh, his mom. Not only was there this gang murder there, but other deaths have occurred at this pond as well. There's been at least 1 suicide reported in the same part of the forest. So we have the murder as our backdrop, but other stuff happens there.
I think it's actually Christopher. He hears us talking, so he's paying us a visit.
Oh, upstairs.
Yep.
Yeah, listeners, you can't hear, but there's
He's a tulpa. The more we talk about him, he's just going to form.
Look at you using your big word. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nothing.
I know a lot about ghosts.
PJ recently bought a whole bunch of books so he can be like informed. I feel like I'm not doing justice to my podcast because PJ's trying harder than me.
I have a problem with books.
I bought a book on paranormal investigations and I took 5 lines of notes. I'm like, I know everything in this book.
That was it. It's like,
I read them and I only get to like half a part and then I stop.
oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I have trouble finishing with them, too.
I know.
Well, my
See?
issue is when I start reading, I get sleepy because I read before bed. So
Oh.
my brain connects books to sleep. And so
It's like
It's-
80%
Why
of
don't
my
you read in the
students.
afternoon? Oh, then you
I
would
get
sleep in the
sleepy.
afternoon, yeah.
It doesn't matter. I just get
Doesn't
sleepy.
matter. You want to go for a nappy nap? Here, read a book, honey. All right. Well, anyway. But what makes this place even more compelling is a detailed paranormal encounter I'm about to tell you.
What is it?
So this is why I brought you ladies in tonight. This is a real life story.
Oh, tell.
Yeah, girlfriend. Yes, queen. Anyway.
I'm here too.
Oh, Lizzie.
I'm one of the ladies.
You're always here. A representative from the Shenandoah Valley Paranormal Society, Shay Willis, spoke of a grim experience, and she said, "Something came home with me that night. I was basically haunted, and it went on for weeks and months at a time."
It was a puppy.
No, that's ours.
Oh,
Hers is more disturbing.
it was a kitten.
No, that'd be wonderful. They're easier.
A
It's more
bird.
Oh, that'd be terrible. What's
2 birds.
As we know, 2 birds in the
Fine,
basement.
the basement.
What's even more disturbing is that the haunting felt physical, as though someone or something had touched her. She noted, "It felt like slime, and I could feel it moving around on my skin."
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you.
it's like
That's,
like he brought home pond scum.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Or like a worm.
don't like that.
Or like a really sleek, gross, nasty, like slithering snake.
What is that dude from Ghostbusters? Like the green-
Slimer.
Slimer, yeah. He brought him
Yeah.
Slimer. Like a mini Slimer.
Kind of fun.
He slimed me.
fun.
It'd be cool to have Slimer. I mean,
He
from
would
Love
eat-
her.
He would eat all the food.
he's from our childhood.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what, here, eat it all. I don't care. It's cool to have you. Click, click. Anyway, the group of investigators arrived around 4:30 in the afternoon on October 25th, 2003, to investigate Braley Pond Campground. It was about 6 months after the murder of Christopher Kennedy. Like, that's literally why they went there. Because they wanted to investigate the area where he was killed. Stepping out of their vehicles, the lead investigator noted that the atmosphere was, quote, so heavy as to be almost palpable, and I knew immediately that this feeling was not my own. I was feeling something that belonged to someone else. As the group neared the dam, a couple of the group members became physically ill. They actually started puking all over the place. And they were that, physically upset by this, dense, dark feeling that was hitting them. It was very physical. So the entire group retreated. Two of the investigators decided to return to the campground after nightfall to investigate further. Well, we didn't get sick, so let's go back. It's kind of what happened.
Losers.
Bye.
They couldn't hack the pond.
So arriving at around 11:30 p.m., the pair sensed the same heaviness in the atmosphere that they had experienced on the first visit. Moving on, they felt as if whatever had been there before was lying in wait for their return. As they made their way toward the dam, one of them saw an orb of light in a nearby pine tree. They stated, roughly 30 or 40 feet in the air, looking as though it was nestled in the branches of one of the big pines that flanked the opening to the path, was a brightly glowing fluorescent green light.
An orb?
Maybe it was Slimer. But yeah, people see
It's
orbs, for ghosts.
Yeah.
Slimer, you're right. There it is. It's green.
Sorry I messed up the story.
No, you saw it. You saw it coming.
Yeah.
You didn't mess it up. But now we're
I do it
prepared.
often. So it's pretty interesting to be on this side of the table where I don't.
Literally.
I am
Literally,
slightly
yeah.
psychic, maybe.
There you go. I dabble.
I dabble.
I'm a little physic.
I'm a little just like Penny's a little psycho. Anyway, after the light mysteriously blinked out, the pair began to hear violent splashing in the water below, like someone was being drowned.
No.
Oh, yes. Sensing that something was coming after them, the pair took off for the safety of their vehicle. As they ran, one of the investigators was knocked off the bridge into the water.
Oh.
Yes. So Willis stated, quote, I don't know how to explain it except he literally flew upwards and to the left as if something had hit him right in the middle of his back, like using his forward momentum, and went off the side of the bridge into the water.
You know, that happened to Dan once while he was riding his bike. Except instead of his forward momentum, I turned back to see where he was, and just in time to see him just fly sideways off of his bike.
See, for Dan, that could just be him.
Oh, I know, yeah. But that's what I was picturing. I was picturing them running on a bridge, and one of them just got pushed over the edge.
Yeah.
So kind of like me opening the car door and knocking a little kid off a bike.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, boy. That's what happened.
That story.
We know. The pair would later discover that their audio equipment picked up a mysterious screech just before the man was thrown into the water. There you go. Thank you, Lizzie. When the lead investigator stopped to check on her companion, he was fine but encouraged her to continue running back to the truck. Go on without me, I guess. As she stood up on the side of the pond, she began to feel something crawling on her back. She recalled that it moved like an inchworm and felt as if it had tentacles. Continuing back to the truck, she screamed that something was on her. Both investigators piled back into the vehicle and nothing was found on the investigator, though she continued to feel that the thing was creeping along her body.
Ugh.
Even in the car and on the way home, she could just feel this slimy presence on her. I like to think of The Boys now, because we're watching that, and Butcher's
There's
whatever inside
some kind of
him.
worm thing in his skin.
Yep.
Ew.
Could have also been an octopus, and my boss thinks that octopus are going to take over the world. So it could be just blending into his body, and all you see is the little
That's it.
It's true.
thing. Could be an octopus.
They are very smart. Or it's a kraken.
Well, I mean, I get that feeling all the time, when you find a spider or something on you and you whack it off, but you still
crawling.
feel it crawling
Yes.
on you, you know?
Well, this continues because over the next few months, so this is Shay Willis, of course, because it says the lead investigator, would then be plagued by nightmares and dark feelings and images that would surface in her mind periodically. The pair returned to the campground several more times and witnessed odd events, but none as dramatic as the events of that first night. When the lead investigator felt oddly drawn to visit alone, she found herself walking trance-like around the parking lot and suddenly found herself in the restroom without any memory of getting there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Sorry, just kind of cool. But it didn't end with just her. Several weeks later, she and her husband heard a terrifying scream from her 8-year-old son in another room. No, Lizzie. Screechier.
A screecher?
Thank you, Maria. The boy had witnessed the image of a man standing in the corner of his room, quote, with multiple holes in his chest, wet and covered in blood. Christopher came for a visit. Following this frightening vision, the dark feelings began to retreat from the lead investigator. Revisiting the campground a few years later, she felt no sense of anything there.
So he makes her life horrible for a while. Shows
Scares
up,
the crap out of her kid.
says, hi, kiddo, and then just gone.
I think because he wanted to be seen, maybe.
Interesting.
So I don't know. But the good news is, or he possessed the 8-year-old boy. Boom, 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 boom.
And he's still that boy today.
Oh, no. Oh, no. He's just walking
Right?
around somewhere.
If he's like, if they never fixed it, is he just that boy now?
Yeah. He stopped bothering the mom. He's like, well, I found the place I want to possess.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
This is
There we go.
This is a good
So
house
we're-
right here.
We were even like talking a little bit. Like I said, an octopus, which is like ridiculous, but you said like, oh, it could be like a bug that just like got on you and it's like swish off. So maybe maybe Christopher realized like, I'm not showing who I am. Like I'm gonna chill here, but when the moment's right, I'm gonna be like, hey,
It's gonna pop out and be like, boo.
Yeah, it's like boo.
Well, I think it's interesting that it stops after he shows himself. He reveals himself to the 8-year-old. But do you think it's because he just wanted someone to see him?
I mean, it sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
pay
I
attention
think he
to me.
just wanted to
Yes.
be heard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because he's annoying the crap out of, he pushes the one guy into the pond. He creepy crawls all over Shay. And then nothing for a while, right?
Yeah.
And then, well, I guess annoys
kids are
her and
vulnerable.
creeps her. Yeah, like he makes her feel creepy crawly. She has dark visions. But then what bothers me is she has all these dark visions. She wants to go to this place alone. She walks trance-like until she gets to the restrooms, which is freaky enough. But showing himself to the 8-year-old was what made him stop.
Well, children are more susceptible to this stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's true.
So the whole time, all these nightmares, everything could have been him trying to appear to an adult,
Mm-hmm.
but she just couldn't mentally see it.
Yeah.
So maybe he, then attempted with the kid, made contact, and then that was it. He got what he wanted.
You hear so many stories about these ghosts showing up and they actually look happy and healthy and there's no stab wounds in them.
Yeah.
Why does he need to come back looking like that? Put on a tuxedo. The zombie did. To go trick-or-treating.
He obviously had, that's what was keeping him there, was that horrific event, where some of them have happier unfinished business.
I guess. What are your thoughts, Ashley?
I think that maybe the people in town might not have remembered him as he was as Christopher before his accident, but hearing that someone was murdered and stabbed 13 times, that's really memorable. So maybe that's how people would remember him. So if he came back looking all tuxedo and fancy, they would be like, who's that? When he came back with stab wounds.
Look what happened to me.
This is me.
Yeah.
This is some random ghosty.
I think it'd be pretty cool in a tuxedo and a top hat. I'm just saying. That'd be pretty cool. But whatever. But there's more creepy stuff.
Or do you think he's just a tulpa?
Maria, do you know what a tulpa is?
No.
So tulpa is if you... Mothman, for example. So one person sees this creature with, looks like a moth with large wings and everything, and then suddenly everyone starts seeing it. And the idea is that the more you think about it and believe in it, it just appears.
Like Loch Ness?
Yeah. Or Sasquatch, or, any of
Sasquatch.
those.
Mass
real.
hysteria.
Yeah, but this is more tangible because you can actually create something even the ghosts at Eastern State, the ghost of Al Capone, maybe he was never there until people
With that energy, brought the energy in,
people said
and it
I saw
creates
Al
it.
Capone's ghost, and then now everyone is looking for Al Capone, and then they just kind of make this thing that looks like Al Capone. It may not actually be Al Capone, but it looks like him and it acts like him, and that's what a tulpa is. You create this thing, or maybe you summon this thing that takes on the form of whatever
people
you're thinking of.
imagine it almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then it becomes real.
I like tulpa hawk and spring water.
It's good.
It's clear water. There it is. Water. If you're not from rural PA, you don't get that. Anyway.
I don't know, maybe they do.
Maybe Tulpa Hawkins
Maybe
everywhere.
they do go all over the place. I
I don't know. So there's other spooky happenings at this place that make Braley Pond like the haunted place to go in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So according to Mysterious Universe, the website, many campers and hikers in the area have encountered sudden feelings of nausea and dread, which we saw with the paranormal investigators. You're puking all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling of heaviness, right? They also see orbs of light. No one mentioned green, but we'll take it. Shadow figures, which I'm like, all right.
It's always creepy.
Mm-hmm. The sounds of splashing water, so more than just our paranormal people have heard that. And a feeling of being drawn into the water. Not being pushed in, but you feel like you need to walk in there. Almost like it's asking you to come.
It's very PukwuPJ.
Yes, exactly. There are also eerie encounters that have taken place closer to the pond. Near the picnic area, spirits have been seen hovering above the water. And it's not like mist. It's not like cloudy stuff. It's actual spirits.
Come on now, it's just a puddle. It's really shallow. Look.
Look at me.
I'm right on it. It's not deep at all.
And if you take the rugged trail around the pond up towards the mountain, you can also hear the sounds of children's voices in the distance.
Don't like that.
But there's lots of stories, people hearing children's voices, which you could account for, like if people are down by the pond picnic area, and they're talking, that sound might go up the trail, you might hear it from a distance.
Yeah.
But like campers, I think when you're used to going hiking, you know the difference between like someone's voice coming on the wind, like from a local area, versus something that's like otherworldly. Like you kind of know that difference because your body has that fight or flight response and you kind of freak out over it. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, people? Is this place haunted?
I think it's haunted.
Sounds like it might be haunted.
Sounds like a place I don't want to go because I don't want to be drawn into water and commit suicide.
Yeah, it sounds almost like the suicide forest in Japan.
Mm-hmm, that's what I was thinking too.
The Akigahara.
Yeah, that feeling of dread, but also you can't help but go there, and that kind of like trance-like state, and that visceral response where you're vomiting, like your body recognizes you shouldn't be here. It's making you physically ill.
Yeah.
So
I was on a swim team.
So you're ready to go then?
I can go.
It's gonna be okay.
I'll be fine.
What if the spirits are above you though, and you're in the water? I don't know. All right, so I just want to say the giveaway ended on the 30th. Thank you all for, putting your names in. Thank you for hopping onto the live feed and talking to us. And, of course, congrats to Brian Hawk for winning. So happy for you. We'll have another giveaway soon because once we get to 30,000 listens, we'll make a whole new one. I already have the first starter for our next giveaway, which is the Skull and Crossbones tea bag thing. So we're good, all right? I also want to put out there that on October 19th, we'll be in Waynesburg as the keynote speakers for a paranormal event that our super best friend Kevin Paul is actually putting together. So we'll let you know more.
Wait.
I know, it's so exciting. But we have the official date. It's October 19th. So we'll let you know as we find out what's going on. But as always, thank you for listening to the Well House Exorcism. Find us on Instagram as Well House Exorcism, all one word. On Twitter X as wellhouse_exorc. Or on Facebook under Games Overboard because we are a subsidiary. Feel free to hop on our website as well, which is just gamesoverboard.com. But overall, please email us. We want to hear from you. We want to respond to you. We want to give you stories that you are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And as always...
think spooky thoughts. Wait, Maria has a joke.
Maria has a joke. Maria, go ahead.
I dreamt that I was a muffler and I woke up exhausted.
And with that, we're going to close out this evening. Thank you for being on, ladies.
It was a blast. Thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Hope you can't sleep tonight.
I won't be able to.
I'll hold you. It'll be okay.
I'm scared.